You know, humanity is standing right on the edge of a revolution. A scientific frontier that literally promises to turn back the clock on aging itself. But what if this massive breakthrough arrives in a world that's just fundamentally unprepared for it? Today we're diving into a fascinating and frankly a kind of scary paradox, the collision between radical life extension and the stark economic realities that could turn this dream into a global crisis. We're going to explore the science, the money, and the huge questions that pop up when our biology starts to outpace our society.
It always starts with the dream, doesn't it? I mean, this quote from an online follower just perfectly captures that deep, timeless human desire to cheat death, to stay young forever. It's the ultimate prize science has been chasing for, well, forever. But behind this beautiful dream lies a very, very harsh number.
$4 trillion. That's the high-end estimate of the annual global health protection gap. And what is that? It's the chasm between the healthcare people actually need and what they can afford. So, while some of us are dreaming of living to 125, billions of people are already struggling to pay for basic health today. This is the stage on which our whole story unfolds.
Okay, first, let's go right to the biofrontier, a world of passionate believers and some pretty radical science. And you could forget about giant corporations for a minute. This story starts with a small, scrappy team that believes they've found the key. So meet the key players. You've got Harold Catcher, the scientist who is totally convinced that aging is just a program and any program can be hacked. Then there's Akshay, the entrepreneur, who's trying to get this revolutionary idea out of the lab and into the real world. Their creation. It's a treatment called E5, and it's derived from components of young blood plasma. And backing them up is this really fervent online community, a mix of biohackers and small-time investors, all of them betting on a miracle.
And this, right here, is where the spirit of the project really shines through. This quote from Akshay, it reveals this deeply idealistic, almost revolutionary mission. See, they're not just aiming for a breakthrough, they're trying to change who gets access to it first. It's a vision that stands in pretty stark contrast to the world we're about to explore.
All right, now let's pull way back from the lab and enter the world of global economics. This is where institutional experts are sounding a very different and a much more urgent alarm about this whole longevity thing.
So here's the deal, the crucial point. Our entire world has been reshaped by a demographic earthquake. Since the 1950s, global life expectancy has just skyrocketed, from 46 to 74 years. At the exact same time, the fertility rate has been chopped in half. We're living much, much longer, but there are far fewer young people to support an aging population. You can probably see where this is going.
And if you want to see the real-world consequence of that shift, look at this. In South Korea, a modern, developed nation, over 40% of the elderly live in poverty. This isn't some hypothetical problem for the distant future. For millions of people, right now, the financial burden of a long life is already a crushing reality. Okay, let's jump back to the science for a second, because we need to understand what makes a therapy like E5 even possible. I mean, how do you actually measure age in a lab? And more importantly, how do you reverse it? Well, the key is something called the epigenetic clock. The best way to think about it is like a biological odometer on your car. It's not about the number of candles on your birthday cake, it's a test that actually reads the chemical tags on your DNA to figure out your body's true biological age. The entire goal of the E5 project is to figure out how to make that odometer run backwards.
But there's this huge scientific question that's still up for debate. How do you reset this clock? Is there a single master control center, maybe somewhere in the brain, that dictates aging for the whole body? Or is it more of a decentralized system, where you have to influence trillions of cells all at once? The answer has massive implications, not just for the science, but for the potential cost and complexity of any treatment.
So this is where the E5 hypothesis comes in. And it's a beautifully simple idea, even if it's still unproven. First, they isolate very specific factors from young blood. Second, they introduce them into an older body. The theory is that these factors act like powerful signals that tell the body to cool down all that chronic inflammation that comes with getting older. And in response, the cells themselves begin to reset their own epigenetic clocks. Simple, right? All right, so with that science in mind, let's pivot right back to the money. Because even if the science works perfectly, it creates a personal economic crisis that most of us are completely unprepared for.
This chart right here, this is the whole problem in one image. Our lifespan, the number of years we live, is going up and up. But our health span, the years we're actually in good health, that's rising much more slowly.
And here's the kicker. Our wealth span, the number of years we're financially secure, is basically flat. This growing gap between the three, that is the danger zone.
So what does this actually feel like for real people? Well, a global survey asked what people fear most about living to be 100. And the number one answer, ahead of poor health, ahead of loneliness, was financial insecurity. It's not about dying. It's about the fear of outliving your money. You know, in nature, creatures like this tortoise have mastered longevity over millennia. It's just part of their biology. But for us, in our complex, engineered societies, extending life isn't just a biological challenge, it's an economic one. And right now, it really looks like we're failing the test.
And here's where it gets really strange. Look at this disconnect. While more than 2/3 of people say they're concerned about their future financial and health needs, a majority still feel like they're personally prepared. There's this weird optimism gap where we all see the problem on a societal level, but we think, oh, it won't happen to me, I'll be fine. And that is a huge, huge gamble.
So now we bring the two worlds, the incredibly hopeful science and the incredibly harsh economics crashing together. Our entire society is built on a financial plan for a 40 or 50-year career. What happens when the science starts offering a 100-year life?
This is it. This is the single most important question. A breakthrough is only a breakthrough if people can actually get it. So if a treatment like E5 proves to be the real deal, who foots the bill?
And this is where you see a stunning paradox. On one side, you have the E5 team, and they're struggling for funding. Here's a financial professional who looked at their investment deck and said, basically, it's missing too much data. I can't show this to my network. It's a high-risk, unproven venture. Okay, fair enough. On the other side, the world spent over $94 billion on face creams in a single year. We spend fortunes on the appearance of youth, but we struggle to fund the science of actual youth. It's wild.
And even if the science is solid and they somehow get the funding, the path to market is an absolute minefield. First, there's the years-long, multi-million-dollar FDA approval process. Then you've got the problem of weak patent protection for natural compounds. And of course, there's the ever-present threat of larger companies who, as one supporter put it, don't necessarily play fair. And finally, you have the price tag. Early estimates suggest a single dose could cost thousands of dollars, putting it way out of reach for the average person. So, where does all this leave us? Well, we've got a scientific revolution on our doorstep and social and economic systems that are dangerously unprepared to answer the knock. But let's not lose sight of what's really at stake here. As this supporter puts it so well, cracking the code of aging would be the most important development of our time. Think about it. It has the potential to wipe out countless diseases and alleviate an immense amount of suffering. The upside is, well, it's almost unimaginable. But the technology is moving so much faster than our ability to adapt. We are engineering these incredible solutions for the biology of aging, but we haven't even begun to engineer the societal structures needed to support it. The secret to youth is leaving the lab. The question is no longer if we can live longer, but if we have the wisdom to build a world where we can actually afford to.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.